Okay, hi everybody. Part 3, changing spark plugs in a Ultra 300 or 310. Yesterday I posted my videos and I got a response back from a very knowledgeable guy, Jet Dave. I presume he's in the US, and he brought up the fact about using copper coat, Antiseize, whether it's a copper-based product or an aluminum-based, that the torque values set by Kawasaki of 13 Newton meters may not be accurate, and he has a valid point, very well put. When you use copper coat, any type of anti-seize, it lubricates the threads of the spark plugs. Therefore, if you're torquing, let's say a half a turn would take you to 13 Newton meters. When you put on copper coat, some type of anti-seize, it lubricates the threads, and you actually go past that, so your value of 13 Newton meters may not be accurate. I just suggest do a half a turn, as we talked about yesterday, a half a turn when torquing in the spark plugs, maybe a little more. As Dave said, he would probably set, if you're going to use a torque wrench, this is a Newton meter torque wrench, maybe set your value to 11 or 12 Newton meters if you're going to use an anti-seize, and we highly recommend using an anti-seize. So you see, it gets a little bit complicated. It's better to deal with all these issues right now than deal with a stuck spark plug later on and maybe break a spark plug off and have to remove the head. So according to Dave, and he's absolutely correct, if you use anti-seize, maybe if you insist on using a torque wrench, set it to maybe 11, 11.5, no more than 12 Newton meters. And when you use your torque wrench, obviously you're not holding it like this, but I have to hold the camera. You pull it slow and steady, no jerky movement, slow and steady as you come around. There's your halfway point. Let's say I've set it at 12 Newton meters. I don't stop there. I keep going slowly, but if I start getting up to about this amount of a turn, I'm going to stop there, because maybe 12 will end up being 3/4 of a turn. You're probably quite safe. Maybe you will set it at 12 Newton meters and you won't quite even get to half, and it'll click. So I would go a little more. I would definitely go half. So it does get complicated a little bit, and good point, Dave. Dave also talks about removing the ignition connectors before starting any ignition wire removal when you still have the battery connected. That's new to me. Another good point, he's talking about the battery being connected, so for safety, I've never done it before, but thanks, Dave. Maybe a guy should disconnect the battery before you do your spark plugs. I haven't done it on anything before, but safety first. So, another valid point. So everybody knows where their battery is. Just to be safe, maybe disconnect the battery, both terminals, and then do your spark plug work. Because he's talking about disconnecting ignition coil wires before you do any spark plug removal work, and disconnecting your battery leads. So, yeah, why not? Why not? So, anyways, like I say again, it's better to deal with all these issues now than deal with a spark or a stuck plug later. Another issue I didn't bring up yesterday, and see if I have it marked, is at the 25-hour mark, Kawasaki says to check the spark plug. Something I didn't point out yesterday in the book. They actually say if you check the gaps and the gaps are out, you replace the plug. You do not try to re-gap your spark plugs. Here we are here. I don't know if we can zoom in for you. Do not adjust the plug gap. If the plug gap is out of the specification, replace the spark plug. So just as a general rule of thought, at 25 hours, I would check the gap, but I would just replace them. It's a high performance engine, and spark plugs are an issue that come up from time to time, and guys say, well, my ski isn't running correctly, and guys recommend, well, try your plugs, and guy changes his plugs, and the ski's running fine then. So anyways, if I get any more updates or suggestions, I'll bring them up, because we want to get it right. Okay, hope that helps. Rod here.